Hello, my name is Dr. Yes Sissoko. Today we are going to talk about chapter 4, demand. What is demand? Usually demand refers to the buyer or consumer side. Quantity demanded is the amount of the good that buyers are willing and able to purchase. For instance, you buy 5 gallons of milk per week, or you're making your car payment every 15 days, or you're making your rent or mortgage payment once a month. On the other hand, the law of demand, with everything being equal, such as income doesn't change, price of related good doesn't change. When price rises, the quantity demanded fall. When price fall, the quantity demanded rises. This means that there is an inverse relationship or opposite relationship between quantity demanded and the price of the good. Because buyers are rational, they want to buy more when the price go down, they want to buy less when the price go up, so that they can make the most of their money. The demand is the relationship between the price of a good and the quantity demanded. So the demand schedule is a table with the, the quantity demanded and the prices. The demand curve is a graphical representation of the demand schedule. You put the price on the vertical axis, the y-axis. You put the quantity on the horizontal axis or the x-axis. So the individual demand is the individual demand for a product. For instance, my individual demand for milk per week is 5 gallons of milk. Figure 1 show catering demand schedule and demand curve. So catering demand schedule depend on the price of ice cream and the quantity of cone demanded. So for instance, so at $0, she purchased 12 cone. At 50 cents, she purchased 10 cone. At $1.50, she purchased 6 cone. At 2.50, she purchased 2 cone. At $3, she purchased nothing. So you can see that as price of corn increases, the quantity demand of corn decreases. Therefore, there is a negative relationship between the price and the quantity demanded. So this negative relationship or inverse relationship is known as the law of demand. So you can see here how many, let me ask you the following question. How many demand schedule do we have in this, do we have here for Catherine? We have one, two, three, four, five, six, seven. We have 7 demand schedule for Catherine in this example. Catherine demand curve can be represented is the Catherine demand curve is a graphical representation of a demand schedule. So you we're going to plot the price of ice cream P on the vertical axis or the y-axis, and we are going to plot the quantity of ice cream cone demanded on the horizontal axis or the x-axis. So the 7 demand schedule would be represented by these dots, then one, two, three, four, five, six, seven. So for instance, at so at $2, Catherine is going to purchase four four corn. So $2, so Catherine will be purchases four corn. At $1.50, factory will be purchasing six corn. $1.50 should be purchasing six corn, which is represented by this demand schedule. So $1.50 is connected to six corn. So we can see that when there is a decrease in the price from $2 to 150, there is an increase of the quantity demanded from 4 to 6. So you can see that the demand curve is downward sloping or negatively slope, and because of a lower increase in the quantity demanded, the demand curve slope downward or negatively. So this negative uh, slope of the demand curve is due to the law of demand. Figure 2 represents the market demand as the sum of individual demanded. So for the market demand, we are going to add up the demand for Catherine plus the demand for Nicola to derive the market demand. So for instance, so at, at the price of $2, Catherine purchases, 4 cone of ice cream. At the same time, at the same price of $2, Nicola purchases 3 cone of ice cream. So therefore, the market demand will be at $2, three, 4 plus 3, which would be 7, then would be 7 cone of ice cream. So 7 cones of ice cream will be the market demand for ice cream. Shift in the demand curve. There are two types of shift in the demand. The first one is called increase in the demand. For instance, if income increases or the number of buyer increases, demand will increase and shift to the right. So this means that any change that increase the quantity demanded at every price, demand curve will shift to the right. This is known as a positive shift. The second change in demand is called decrease in demand. For instance, if income goes down or the number of buyers goes down, demand will decrease and shift to the left. So this means that any change that decreases the quantity demanded at every price, demand curve will decrease and shift to the left. So this is known as negative shift. Figure 3 show the two different type of shift in the demand. Increase in the demand, so demand curve will increase and shift to the right from D1 to D2. So one example would be number of buyer increases, income increases, okay? And then decrease in the demand curve will shift from D1 to D3. So this is known as decrease in demand. So for instance, number of buyer goes down or income goes down. So the shift to the right is known as the positive shift, and the shift to the left is known as a negative shift. There are 5 variables that can shift the demand curve. The first one is income, The second one is the price of relative good. The third one is taste. The fourth one is expectation. And the fifth one is number of buyers. With respect to the income, there are two types of gold, normal gold and inferior gold. So one example of normal gold is new car. One example of inferior gold is used car. One example for normal gold is traveling by plane. One example of inferior gold is traveling by bus. The more money you make, the demand curve for normal gold will increase. The more money you make, the demand curve for inferior gold will decrease and shift to the left. For instance, as your income goes up, you're going to buy more new car, and you're not going to buy used car. As your income increases, you're going to travel by plane, but you're not going to travel by bus. With respect to the price of relative gold, there are two types of relative gold. The first one is substitute gold. You use one gold to replace another gold. For instance, Sprite and Coke are substitute gold. Tea and coffee are substitute gold. If the price of Coke goes up, the demand for the substitute gold Sprite will increase and shift to the right. If the price of coffee goes up, the demand for the substitute gold tea will increase and shift to the right. The second one are called complement gold. The two goes together. If you buy one, you have to buy the second one. For instance, hard dog and hard dog band are complement gold. DVD and DVD player are complement gold. If the price of hard dog goes up, the demand for hard dog band will decrease and shift to the left. If the price of a DVD player goes down, the demand for DVD will increase and shift to the right. With respect to the taste, there are two types of change in taste. Either you like the gold, then the demand for the gold will increase and shift to the right. For instance, if you like Sprite, the demand for Sprite will increase and shift to the right. Or you dislike the gold, the demand for the gold will decrease and shift to the left. If you dislike Dr. Pepper, the demand for Dr. Pepper will decrease and shift to the left. So with respect to expectation about the future, if there is an increase if you expect an increase in your income in the near future, say in 6 months, your demand for normal gold will increase and shift to the right. If you expect higher prices next week, for instance, you expect the price of gasoline to increase next week, the demand for gasoline right now will increase and shift to the right. With respect to the number of buyers, if population increases, the demand would increase and shift to the right. Table 1 summarizes the variables that influence the buyer. So change in the price of the good itself will lead to moving along the demand curve. This means that changing the price of the good will not shift the demand curve. But changing any other factor, which include these 5 factors beside the price of the good, will shift the demand curve. So if this factor impact the demand curves positively, the demand curve will increase and shift to the right. If this factor impact the demand curve negatively, the demand curve will decrease and shift to the left.